Welcome back into Boston has entered the chat. We are joined now by Tessie Podcast host Nat Gordon to talk all things Red Sox off-season. And there's a lot going on, Gordo, with the Red Sox right now. A lot of questions surrounding what they will do this off-season. Chief among them being what is going to happen with Alex Bregman, who has opted out. What do you think happens with Alex Bregman and his future?
Yeah, morning, guys. He's opted out. He's a free agent. No qualifying offer attached. He can go wherever he wants. Any team can offer him a contract. He'll have suitors. He sure will. But I see these projections, 180 million plus. I'll still believe it when I see it. He didn't touch that last offseason. I know he had the qualifying offer attached, and he doesn't this time around. And obviously that's a big barrier lifted. But the suitors just weren't there last year. The Red Sox obviously will be in. And, the Tigers were in last year, maybe the Cubs who were in last year, the Blue Jays who sniffed around a little bit, maybe the Mariners jump in a little bit more this year. But those are kind of the teams I'm looking at the most. But I still see this in the end, whether it takes a while or whether it comes together a little bit quicker than last year. I think he's going to end up returning to Boston. It's just a matter of how long's the contract going to be, how much will it be for. I look at the Matt Chapman deal last year that Scott Boras got for his free agent who had signed the 1-year pillow deal just like Bregman did. 6 years, just over $150 million. Third baseman, right around the same age. I think that's a perfect number to land on, and I think that's where the Red Sox should be targeting, and they should make it a priority to bring him back.
Big Swole, you know this as much as I do. All these players, all these coaches around this time of year, when you're talking contracts, when you're talking off-season, they use everything they can for leverage. So those teams you just named who were interested in Bro last season are going to be there again. I agree with you, and I would throw the Mariners in as well. Tigers, we know. Cubs, we know. Mariners, we know. Listen, isn't that some leverage here for Bregman to be like, these are guys you have to compete against. You have to go against the Tigers. You have to go against the Mariners. Couldn't that drive up the price more? I guess my question to you is simply, is there a ceiling in which you're willing to go? Because if I'm Alex Bregman, I've opted out now, I have some leverage with your enemies, I'm driving the price up and I'm going to the highest bidder. Are you a by any means necessary keep Bregman, or are you a, hey man, good luck with the Tigers, it is what it is?
I'm pretty close to keep him by any means necessary, but at the same time, I don't think you have to go nuts here, because as much as, to your point, he does have leverage if he has those suitors, but at the same time, last year, he had those same suitors. He had bigger offers from those suitors, and he showed you where he wanted to be, and then he went there and had a good experience. There's nothing that at least that we know of from the outside that would tell us that he's looking to leave. I would think that he wants to play for a team that's up and coming, a team that has a good shot to win the division every year for the rest of his career if he signs a long-term deal, a ballpark where he can hit the ball off the green monster, over the green monster, and a ballpark where he's performed in the past. So even though he does have that leverage, I don't know if the Red Sox can call his bluff and dare him to go elsewhere if they want to negotiate this and play hardball. And the fact that, they didn't negotiate him during the season, the fact that they did take him into spring training last year without giving him a long-term offer kind of shows that they're willing to do that. So to me, I hope that this gets done a little bit quicker this time around, because I think so much of the rest of what they need to do hinges on do they bring back Alex Bregman? Because if you don't, you got a lot of ground to make up, and you don't want options B, C, and D coming off the board before your option A does. But yeah, I would be willing to go to great extents to keep him. I just don't think you need to go out there and throw $200 million at him, because I just don't think he's going to get that offer anywhere else.
Gordo, you said all means necessary. Would you go 6 years to keep Alex Bregman in Boston?
Gosh.
I would, yeah.
Wow.
And I think he'll get 6 years too. It's just that I think it's going to end up being closer to the $150-ish million mark than $180 million. I don't see $180 to $200 million. It's going to be painful. Free agency, by definition, it's painful because you're the one team that's willing to go to that price to get that player. 6 years is going to be tough, but this is a guy that you have to keep around, not just for the talent on the field, the bat, the defense, but for everything he means to this team off the field. Every single player that took a step forward this year, in some way, shape, or form, credited Alex Bregman with their development. The coaching staff fell in love with this guy. The front office loves this guy. In 1 year, the impact he made, you just can't let it end at 1 year.
Another big question, Gordo, in this offseason is what the Red Sox are going to do with the outfield. So we had the news yesterday, Wilyer Abreu and Ceddanne Rafaela each won a Gold Glove. And I saw a lot of chatter about, this obviously means who the odd man out is. I personally don't think that each of them winning a Gold Glove and one guy not winning a Gold Glove is going to have anything to do with whether or not they trade Jarren Duran this offseason. Do you see that as a factor in this decision? And also, do you think that they will trade Jarren Duran?
I don't think that the actual awards impact the situation, but it does shed a little bit of light on it. I mean, Roman Anthony, in his limited time last year, was also an elite defender. And you can dream on the outfield of Anthony in left, Rafaela, your defensive captain in center, and Abreu, now back-to-back Gold Glove winner in right. And obviously, those guys can all hit the ball too. It just, with the way the season ended, the fact that Duran has less team control than those guys, he's older than those guys. I think that your best roster moving forward has Anthony in left, Rafaela in center, and Abreu in right. And that's not to say that Duran isn't a good player, because he also should have a ton of value on the trade market, whether you're able to deal him for a starting pitcher, that number 2 starting pitcher that this team so desperately needs, or whether you trade prospects for that guy and you backfill the system by trading Duran. To me, I think Duran is the clear odd man out. And if another outfielder is traded over Duran, I would look at it and assume that the value was just so much, the gap was just so wide that they couldn't trade Duran instead of, let's say, a Wilyer Abreu or a Ceddanne Rafaela, because their value was so much higher. But I tend to think Duran still has a good amount of trade value. So, yeah, I lean towards thinking the Red Sox are going to trade him this offseason.
I think they're going to trade him too, Gordo, but I've told you this before. I think we're overvaluing him. I actually think that postseason that he had was so abysmal. I think it hurt the return that the Red Sox will get. Not that they can't move him, but I think the return, his stock will never be higher than it was a year ago. And they didn't move him, I get it. But now, since what's happened in that year, and certainly that playoffs, I think it's hurt. I think now it's diminishing returns if you do move Duran. I want to ask you about Lucas Giolito, because I saw you did something on Twitter. You put like a poll out. Do you think Lucas Giolito will be back with the Red Sox?
I don't think Lucas Giolito is going to be back with the Red Sox. Yesterday, you had both sides decline their mutual option for $19 million. And to me, that kind of tips the hand that, the Red Sox don't want to pay a high annual value deal for Lucas Giolito to return. Now, there is a chance that maybe they were just declining it so that they could fast forward, offer him the qualifying offer, which maybe if he's healthy, they know he's going to decline, and then they could get the draft pick. So it doesn't exactly tip their hand. But to me, if they wanted him back, they accept their portion of that $19 million mutual option. So to me, the question is more so, do they offer Lucas Giolito the qualifying offer or not? And if they do, does he accept it or not?
Right. I think he's hurt too. He couldn't play in the.
He couldn't finish.
He couldn't finish. He was great all year. He was really great.
He couldn't finish.
But the fact that he couldn't finish. Yeah. Do you want to give a guy that type of money? They can't get into that situation.
Right.
But I do want to bring up the World Series, man. And when I say the word World Series, the world, right? Started in Japan, ends in Canada. It was an awesome series. And, I've never felt like Dave Roberts was a great manager, but man, did he push all the right buttons there. Yeah. And it was hard seeing Mookie Betts make the final play. I got to tell you, it was making that final, though, at shortstop, by the way. But just the takeaways from the World Series. What can the Red Sox learn from that? Is it about the hitting? Is it about having the pitcher that can do multiple things? They were so well-rounded. What can the Red Sox learn from the World Series? Yep. And will the future of the game have an impact on, will there be a salary cap in baseball? What is next after this World Series?
Well, I would say in terms of takeaways for the Red Sox, it's all starts with starting pitching. The Los Angeles Dodgers were in the position that they were in because they had awesome starting pitching. And you saw it in Game 7. I mean, they just threw starter after starter after starter. They didn't touch their bullpen. If you've got 4 or 5 awesome starters that you can trust, you can get through a postseason. And we know that well from 2018. So, yeah, the Red Sox are going to have to get going on getting that number 2 starter to catch up to a team like the Dodgers. And then in terms of just the game, this is something I keep talking about with friends, with family since the end of the World Series, but it just feels like the game is in such a good place that I can't fathom that a year from now the owners are going to lock the players out. I expect it to happen because it just feels like that's the direction it's going, and it's talked about as an inevitability. But to me, you have all this momentum.
Yes.
The attendance is at a high, not all time, is the highest it's been in years. Yep. Viewership is the highest it's been in years. Interest is the highest it's been in years. Yep. And the product is awesome. And that's why all those numbers are up. And to me, halting that momentum to overhaul the financial infrastructure of the game, I just don't understand. Like, even if you think that has to happen, I don't understand why it has to happen right now.
You have, just the last question from me, Gordo. You have quite a collection of bobbleheads behind you, and also quite a collection of baseballs. What is your favorite bobblehead behind you and favorite autographed ball behind you?
Ooh.
Okay. Well, I'll start with the bobblehead. Okay, I can lean to this way. I got the Nesson bobble desk right there, which
love it.
I've had that for like 20 years. I think Nesson put it on sale when I was really young, and my mom thought it was adorable, so she bought it. And it's the double bobblehead. It's Don and Jerry. Don and Jerry were my childhood voices in my living room watching all the Red Sox games. I fell in love with baseball watching those dudes call the games. So that's definitely my favorite there. It's got so much sentimental value to me. And then in terms of signed ball, I've got I'll tell a story here. I've got a signed baseball from Manny Ramirez. It was my first autograph.
Wow.
And I was 8 years old at Fenway Park. And during the game, I threw the baseball on the field in the 8th inning. He put it in his pocket, played the half inning with the ball in his pocket, didn't give it back to me, ran back to the dugout after that half inning. I thought it was gone forever. He comes back out. You can see the ball in his back pocket. The entire left field stands is yelling at him to give it back to me. He comes over, tosses it back up, and in the half inning, he had signed it for me as a kid. So Manny forever might go.
Manny being Manny.
It's kind of like a game-used ball in a sense, because it was part of the game. That's very cool. So thank you for your insight into that and into what the Red Sox will do this offseason to win a World Series eventually, because that will happen. Nat Gordon of the Play Tessie Podcast, thank you so much for joining us, Gordo. Coming up next, we will get into the Bruins and their face-off with the Islanders. Can they make it 4 straight? We will discuss all of it next right here on Boston Has Entered the Chat.